Good evening. It appears that Donald Trump has been shot at a campaign rally in Pennsylvania. We're getting these shots live from NBC. He is bloodied but still appears to be alive and was bundled off by the Secret Service into a nearby vehicle. Yep, you can see him. He's obviously been hit by something. Certainly, if it's been a bullet, it looks like it's grazed him on the head near his ear, or it struck his ear. He's obviously very belligerent because, well, wouldn't you be if somebody had shot you? So they're, as you can see, they're taking him off to the waiting vehicle there. Secret Service surrounding him and bundling him into the car. Obviously disheveled. Obviously a bit taken aback, but making the most of it, you know, putting his hands up, showing the people that he's still there, that he's still very much Donald Trump. And this is incredible things that we're watching here yeah, you could see him. He felt something on his ear and he dropped down, which probably in some respects may have saved his life, depending on what he's been shot with. So they'll have rushed him away. Yeah, they'll have rushed him straight to hospital to get him checked out. But yeah, you could see the whole crowd ducked down as well, and there's obviously consternation as to what's going on. Yeah, it looks like he's certainly been struck by something. And it doesn't appear to have been a local shot. It appears to have been something that's come from maybe further out in the crowd or even out with the crowd.
Angle trying to find out more information. The second that we get it, Lester, we will bring it to you.
Hallie Jackson, thank you. Here we are on the weekend before the Republican National Convention. If you were just joining us at the top of the hour, Lester Holt in New York. We are following the events in Pennsylvania, where former President Trump, appearing at a rally, suffered what appears to be a wound to his ear after pops were heard, multiple pops, according to witnesses, believed to be potentially gunshots. The former president, taken from the stage, surrounded by Secret Service, ultimately put into his armored vehicle and whisked away from the scene. You heard my colleague say that rally site is now a crime scene as the Secret Service now takes over in the investigation. There's certainly many details we've not been able to confirm or fill out at this point. We don't know the status of the shooter and or shooters. We don't know if other people were shot in this attack, but there you see the shot. I think that people will see a lot of the former president looking defiantly and triumphantly, even as he's led away with that bloodied face.
Yeah, so just to bring you up to speed, people, in case you haven't heard, it looks like Donald Trump has been shot at a rally in Pennsylvania. You can see him here as he's speaking to the crowd, and then he puts up his hand to his ear, he drops to the ground, and the Secret Service jump on him, obviously to protect him at that point. They then gather round. Apparently there are pops going off that indicate possibly more shots being fired in that direction. I don't see anybody in the crowd being hurt, which is good. I don't know if anyone, any of the Secret Service or anything have been hit, but certainly they then get him to his feet, and you'll see him shortly be very belligerent, and you can understand why. So we've now got people with long firearms, obviously rifles, carbines, whatever, on the stage. They're looking around as if, where is the threat? Because obviously, you know, it's not been easily identified. Yep, they're bringing him up. Now you'll see him, and he'll raise his arm and shake his fist to him, but you can see he is bloodied. He has been struck on either the ear or the side of the head, near his right ear. And he's obviously dishevelled, but he is, as I said, belligerent and showing that he's still there and he's still prepared to be fighting for this presidency. This is indeed quite shocking scenes. Not something that you would wish on either of the competitors for this presidency, and not something that should occur. It's quite sad that people have felt the need, and given Trump's political bias, I can only say it's quite sad that someone from the extreme left appears to have felt the need to try and take out the presidential candidate. Do they feel that their man needs all the help they can get, or why would anyone do this? I mean, I know people don't like Donald Trump, but it's supposed to be a fair and democratic society, although it's a constitutional republic. But why are they having a go at him? Why do this? And in some respects, is this now going to mean that his position as presidential candidate is going to be, more obvious? He's like, this is the guy that survived an assassination attempt. Is that what we're talking about now? In which case, this man could sweep the board. So the Secret Service have stated the former president is safe. There we go. Good grief. Sorry.
Police using training, it will bust your skin.
Looks like it's grazed his ear.
It fires from a regular firearm. Sometimes people use similar type. There's various types, but sometimes they use them in paintball activities. So it could be a firearm, and that could be a small caliber weapon that just grazed him, because it looks like the shot came from the right, and he was actually facing the right. He had his head turned toward the right.
What if
it doesn't appear the shot came from the bleachers above, which is a small group of supporters there, and it might have came more from his right, and there's multiple shots. So, clearly, I mean, we'd look at this and say someone trying to shoot the former president in the head, misses mostly if he fired, a few rounds, because you can hear some popping, but might have grazed him with one. Now, what kind of projectile it was, if it was, like say, if it was an actual firearm, I'd be thinking it's a small caliber weapon. The reports are not real loud that I can tell, although we'll probably get better.
Well, you know what? It doesn't matter what kind of firearm it is. Somebody had a go at the former president of the United States and the presidential candidate for the upcoming election in 2020, 2024. Yeah, well, this year. So the question is, why has someone had a go at him? It doesn't matter. It's not even why. Somebody's had a go at the presidential candidate, and you can't excuse it. It doesn't matter what kind of weapon he's using, whether it's a small caliber weapon or even a training round, as they're insinuating already. Stop making excuses. Stop making things up. It doesn't matter what they fired at him. They fired at him. So, it's ridiculous to actually start saying they might have been using a training round. Let's just hold off, because we'll find out. We'll find out what happened. But if they're popping off, it's obviously some kind of firearm. Even if it's an air rifle, it's still a dangerous device, This is unprecedented scenes. Unprecedented scenes. History in the making. Somebody has tried to assassinate Donald Trump. There you go. Exactly, Ben. Ben says he was centimeters from death, and even if it was a low caliber weapon, if you hit somebody in the temple, there's a good chance of penetration. In which case, you're ending up with a severely brain damaged president, like what we currently have, or Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Or death. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I just know what people are going to start saying next. They're going to say that he set it up. And no, nobody sets up something like this. That's just too dangerous, too stupid. It's a ridiculous thing to suggest. So don't even go there, people. Right? So yeah, I don't think I think we could drop the apparently. He appears to be injured. He doesn't even appear to be. He's definitely injured. There's blood. There's blood on his ear. There's blood all over his face. The man has been injured, and he's been hit by a projectile. Look at the blood spatter. That's come forward. So yeah. The guy has been hit by something, as I said, belligerent in his defiance, standing up to the fact that somebody's had a go at him, and we can only at this point say an assassination attempt. So what can you take from that? Whew, this is wild times for a Saturday evening. Good grief, yeah. Pretty wild. And I mean, Trump doesn't need to drum up numbers. He's already got the numbers. He's already got people out there at all these rallies and things. So he doesn't need to fake anything. So we'll see. Hopefully we'll get a report from the hospital as to how he is. But yeah, I think somebody's had a go at him. Yeah, definitely. Right, I think that'll probably do us because we probably won't get an update now until much later. What we do know is
this attempted violence. Gotcha.
Lester, so we made it out of the venue area. We have all evacuated. Again, press, attendees, everyone who was there is now out of the area. We are currently in the parking lot. Again, there were thousands of people at this rally, as there are at many rallies. There are a lot of cars in this parking lot, all looking to leave. As we were getting ready to speak with you, we just ran into Joe and Donna, a mother-son, who say that they were right there. They were in the area where this happened. Donna, let me start with you. First of all, are you okay?
Yes, I'm shook. I'm definitely shook up, but I'm okay.
Everybody in America's an actor, aren't they?
I'm watching him. I heard pop, pop, pop. I thought it was like a cap gun. And my son's like, gun, get down. And next thing you know, everybody around us was down. And then once we got down, we was up at the top of our bleacher. The men were yelling to all the snipers and all the cops to come over because he had shot a man and a woman in our bleacher. We heard the one is very fatal. We don't know that for sure, but they were down. They went out on grenades.
So Joe,
well, she's
what
saying
exactly
that
did
somebody's
you see? Because
been
from our
killed in the
vantage point,
bleachers.
we couldn't see what was going on. We didn't see any individuals. All we could
That's
do was
wild.
listen for those sounds. But what did you see?
Again, I was watching the president, and you hear the gunshots go off. Remarks from up top said that the shooter actually climbed up the back of the bleacher. And after we got down, like my mom said, there was 2 people down. They were calling for medics. We did see the 2 people that were shot, and we saw them get carried out. Like, I don't know. The one didn't look like they were okay. I hope the other one's okay, and just may God watch over them tonight.
Okay, so that's quite interesting. So these 2 people are saying they were there, and the reports are that someone climbed up the back of the bleachers, which is the stands behind Donald Trump, and took the shots from there. So the shots would be coming effectively toward the camera, and obviously on his right side, which would be as we're looking at it, our left, and 2 people on the bleachers looked like they'd been struck and had gone down, asking for medics to attend to them. So maybe this has been a genuinely serious assassination attempt on Donald Trump, and not a stunt. I don't think it looks like a stunt, certainly from the fact that he is indeed injured. I think it's been a genuine attempt by the looks of things, and certainly if people are down and being worked on or being attended to by medics in the bleachers, then I think that really it could be that this is more serious than one would have first thought, because the media were immediately talking about training rounds and cap guns and low caliber weapons. But if people are down and being worked on by medics that they may even not be surviving it, then I think we need to take this very, very seriously. And even if it wasn't a high caliber weapon or whatever, you still got to take this seriously, because it's just showing you exactly what is going on here. I mean, it's just crazy. This is why would anyone feel the need to try and assassinate a person who is trying to run for Congress? And hello, Ben. We've got Ben on the scene now. Well, no, we don't have Ben on the scene. We've got Ben in the scene from his bedroom. No, he's not his bedroom.
I'm in the living room. I'm in the living room.
Hold on. I'm just gonna bring you down to a
That's
reasonable
okay.
size. There you go.
So I'm watching a different broadcast to you right now. So
go on, mate.
I'm watching the ABC News broadcast.
Yeah.
And I just want to tell you how they are reporting it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the name of the stream: Trump rushed off stage after disruption at rally.
Oh. Well, okay. And NBC's got Donald Trump rushed off stage after shots fired.
At least they're going with that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Did you hear what I said? What I just said? Apparently, those people that were interviewed on NBC were saying that there were 2 people down in the bleachers. They looked like they'd been struck, and medics were being asked to attend to them because they were down, and one of them looked very, very unwell.
But are those 2 people the shooters, and they've been popped by a sniper?
No. Apparently, the shooter had climbed up the back of the bleacher and taken it from the back of the bleacher. And he shot 2 people in the bleachers, as part of this. I'm saying he, but I'm surmising. But that's apparently what those 2 people are saying. They reckon that, the shooter had climbed up the back of the bleachers and he'd taken the shots from there.
So it's very clear that so the first shot that rang out struck Donald Trump.
Yeah.
It struck Donald Trump in his right ear, and if you watch the footage, the second it bangs out, he grabs his ear.
Yeah, he does. Okay? Yeah.
Grabs his ear, checks his hand, probably sees the blood, hits the deck.
Yep.
And then it did take a fair while.
No, the guys right beside him were on top of him straight away.
Yeah,
what you had was the other people from down below were rushing up. But yeah, the guys beside him were on top of him straight away.
And then they stood him up. They formed like a donut around him and moved him to the armored vehicle and got him out of there as quickly as possible. But the other thing that's really frustrating me is not one of these anchors on ABC has actually said that he was struck. And it's very clear that he was.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the guy, you can see that there is some kind of wound, either on his ear. I mean, there it is on NBC just now. The top of his ear is bright red. It's covered in blood. It's either his head or his ear that's been struck. Yeah.
So Beats and Tape says here, I got the BBC on it saying Trump injured after apparent shooting at rally. This rally is in Pennsylvania. Julie, this has occurred in Pennsylvania, and I've seen the footage, and you can certainly hear the shots ring out.
Well, NBC are now saying it's a crime scene.
Well, I would hope so.
Yeah, well, yeah. And the Secret Service are likely to lead the investigation. This is something. Oh, there you go. We're seeing a repeat. People are ducking down because they're obviously hearing the continued popping. So the guy didn't just take one shot. He got
off a lot of shots.
Yeah. Now there's people in the bleachers. The people at the very back of the bleachers are standing up and looking to their right. So maybe the guy has been over in that direction towards the back right of the bleachers.
I assume it's come from around that direction because obviously it struck him in the ear. But did the shots come from behind, or did they come from the front? I mean, I've seen people already saying that the shots were from far away.
You can't tell, mate. You really can't tell at this point, can you?
Well, no. I mean, you've got to imagine that there's a fair bunch of bleachers set up. You're seeing the camera point towards the ones that are directly behind Donald Trump, but these rallies are famously huge. So
there's thousands of people here.
Yeah, and this has happened. It's been 40 minutes since the shots were fired. At the time we are live right now, but this is, you know, I don't want to be as hyperbolic as Tim Pool, but I would say that this is an escalation towards that hypothetical civil war. Would you not?
Well, I mean, this isn't unprecedented. You know, political figures have been targets of attempted assassination attempts in the past, but the problem you have here is when you have a figure like Donald Trump and him being so polarizing, you know, in the media's eyes, not necessarily in the public's eyes, but in the media's eyes, he's a polarizing individual.
Do you think the media might bear some responsibility for this?
Yeah, I think they do. I think the media bear a lot of responsibility across the world for an awful lot of things these days. I think in fact, it's a media industrial complex these days, you know?
Yeah, I mean, they certainly are the people that drive the narrative, and they try and form the hearts and minds and the opinions of people and tell them how they should think and feel about a certain person or a certain thing, rather than, you know, just letting people make up their own minds based upon the statement or the obvious evidence of whatever is presented in front of you. Now, you know me, you know that I am not a Trump fan, but I'm also not a Biden fan. However, I find it so damn hypocritical when you talk about, or I say I'm talking to the mainstream media here.
Yeah.
When you talk about political violence being something of the right wing, in the last, I would say since 2012, apart from the unfortunate situation here with Joe Cox in the United Kingdom, I just don't see, especially in political circumstances, that being the case. It is the left wing, the far left, the militants in Black Bloc, the people who think absolutely everybody is a fascist that have come out and done this stuff. I mean, the amount of these types of people who have attacked Trump supporters, who attacked Republicans here in the UK, even they turn up and they attack people that they believe to be right wing. They burn down cities when they don't get their way. They riot, they smash windows, they loot places. And we're just repeatedly told.
Look at France. You know, when it looked like the right wing were doing well, what happened?
And when the left wing won.
Yeah, I know, but in particular, when the right wing were looking like they were doing, when Le Pen's party looked like they were doing well, they went nuts. The left wing went nuts. There was fires every night. There were riots in the streets.
Correct.
You know?
Correct, there were.
Yeah. I mean, these people cannot take anything that isn't their way. That's the... And you know what? You see it in all the social media. You see it on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. If it's a left-winger, it's almost straight to ad hominem attack. You know?
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. You're an ist, you're a phobe, you're a fascist, you're this, that, and the other. Because they don't have the cognitive capacity to discern, you know, the nuance of an argument. They can't actually take something on its merit, on its point, and try and have that conversation. They simply look at you and go, no, you're wrong. You must be wrong. You're evil. You must be stopped. And then it leads to things like this.
Yeah. So, quite interesting.
It is quite interesting. I just thought I'd jump in and give my 2 cents and apologise for, you know, waking you up. Because I'm pretty sure I did.
No, I actually wasn't. I was actually watching something on YouTube. I was watching something about cameras.
Well, this has happened. So.
But yeah. I mean, I think I don't think we're going to get anything sensible now for a couple of hours. But we'll get an update from the hospital, but I pretty much think he's okay, right? You get a headshot, you're either down and out or you're okay. You know what I mean?
Oh, he'll be back on the campaign trail tomorrow.
I mean, he's up and walking, so he's okay.
Although he'll probably be in a bulletproof box from now on, I would imagine.
Yeah, or there'll be screens up, whatever. But yeah.
So, did you see so yesterday, quickly before I go, the Captain America Brave New World trailer was released. Okay,
I haven't seen it. No.
So Harrison Ford has taken over the role of Thunderbolt Ross because William Hurt died.
Right.
And there's a scene where Harrison Ford, he's just won the presidency, and someone takes a bloody pop at him.
Oh, that was yesterday.
That was yesterday.
We'll need to get that up. Yeah.
That was yesterday. That was released. That trailer.
Yeah. It's
a
big group hug, isn't it? It's a big group hug.
I am a believer in coincidences. By the way,
why does the Secret Service all look like Hunter Biden? Sorry.
I was about to ask where was Hunter tonight, but it's not.
I would have been advising his dad, wouldn't he? Well, the better question is, where's Hillary?
Where's Hillary? Where? She's still salty, isn't she?
Yeah.
She writes a book every other year about how she can't accept that she's not the president.
Oh my God! Yeah, she's got a grudge to bear. That's for sure.
She certainly does. Right, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, me too. So there you go, people. I think I think it's all about to hit the fan tomorrow.
Well, yeah, right. Well, good night, folks. I'm jumping off this right now. So
right, and goodbye to everyone else. Thank you for jumping in this impromptu breaking live stream. Good night, all. Bye-bye.